because they failed to pay rent. I have 6 children. These people make $350,000 a year is what they claimed on the rental application. I'm going to lose health insurance tomorrow, and my house is going into a foreclosure period as of tomorrow is 90 days late. They've just been sitting in my house, sir.
This is incorrect.
Are there people still in the premises?
I don't know. I would have to text them. I don't know if they're on the premises presently.
So here's what I'm going to do.
All right, guys. Today we've got a viral TikTok squatter. Yep, someone who teaches people how to squat in other people's homes like it's a career path. This is the kind of thing that kills my faith in humanity. But lucky for us, Judge Simpson is not having it, and things get heated real fast. The entitlement? The audacity? It's all here. Let me know in the comments. What do you think about squatters? Personally, I think they're a plague on society, but I want to hear your take. Let's dive in.
I'm Jordan Leppick. I'm also on this case. Jared Leppick unfortunately was diagnosed with influenza A this morning, so he had his Zoom going and can mic in if need be, but he's got very little of a voice box at this point.
Okay. All right. And yes, I do see him signed in. All right. Andrew Elliott or Traversia, is it Burrell?
Traversia Borelli.
Okay, sorry. All right. Okay, what are we doing on this case?
Last week, sir, you had asked if they be out of the house before the hearing today. And as of right now, they're still moving stuff out of the property. There's still people on property, including a couple of unauthorized additional roommates that weren't included in the lease. And we have yet to get in contact with Mr. Elliott. He is the named person on our lease. So we would just like to see what his status is. We haven't heard from him since the 7th. And the last thing we received from him in writing was an email admitting to the debt owed and the wrongdoing on his part, stating that he can provide the court of a copy with this email. In his own words, he states,
I actually feel. For Judge Simpson here, dude looks lost and confused, and honestly, it's kind of funny. But at the same time, it's insane that people like this guy in the top left just refuse to pay rent and still get away with living rent-free. Like, how do you wake up every day in a house you don't own, knowing you're basically robbing the actual owner? Squatter laws are way too lenient and honestly need to be revoked. Property owners have to jump through hoops just to remove someone who never paid a dime, while the squatter just chills like it's a vacation. And the worst part, most of them trash the place, causing thousands in damages, and still don't face real consequences. In what world does this make sense? Because it sure doesn't to me. Let me know what you guys think about squatters. Am I being too harsh? Or do they deserve jail time for the damage they cause? Drop your thoughts in the comments.
So can I.
I do have claims that ACHs were sent that were never received to my account, sir, as well as proof of funds that I received in December and no payment was made out of that. The last communication I had about a payment arrangement was on December 13th, and I was informed by Mr. Elliott that day that his wife had sent an ACH. However,
okay, look, folks. Oh, ma'am, here's what's going to happen. What date are you going to be out of the premises?
We're already out.
Your stuff is still
out.
Right.
And they have surrendered the keys?
Yes, and it's in the process of being removed as we speak. So we are out. It'll be another hour or two, I think, before it's all of our stuff is gone.
Then the only issue is what's owed.
Right. I also want to bring up, if I may, Your Honor, we were subjected to a wrongful lockout, so we are due 3 times damages of the $150 for a locksmith as outlined in Michigan's anti-lockout statute, totaling $450, which I also have evidence of.
Okay. All right,
Your Honor,
folks.
Your Honor, house because they failed to pay rent. I have 6 children. These people make $350,000 a year is what they claimed on the rental application. I'm going to lose health insurance tomorrow, and my house is going into a foreclosure period as of tomorrow is 90 days late. They have money. They had subletters or whoever living with them, and I don't know if they were running a homeless shelter, if they were pocketing the rent that their roommates paid. They've just been sitting in my house, sir.
This is incorrect.
Okay. All right. So here's the thing. possession has been granted. There are two parts to the case. Possession's been granted or surrendered to the plaintiff. So possession is not.
Sorry.
Pardon?
There are still people at the house. One of them had a residence established there apparently. They're still at the house, and unfortunately our property manager expired at noon today, as it is the last day of the month. So any clean out of anything left behind, I'm going to have to go assess for any damages left on my own next week.
All right. Okay. So here's what I'm going to do. They've surrendered possession of the unit. Ma'am, to your knowledge, are there people in the premises?
Yes, there is.
Are there people still in the premises?
I don't know. I would have to text them. I don't know if they're on the premises presently, but we were told that we could get the remainder of the items out. So they would be doing that if they are not presently at the U-Haul Center where I am now. I'm just using my phone to do this.
Possession to the premises has been surrendered. Ma'am, as of, given everything that I'm hearing, your management contract expires, at midnight tonight? Is that the deal? Or
Yeah, yes. And we can't afford to pay a property manager anymore.
Hang on. I hear you. I'm just trying to, because you're in North Carolina, right?
Yes, sir. But I will have to make a trip up to North Carolina to assess anything.
I know. I guess you're out of state. You've got a property manager here that won't be the property manager tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
So what? I should let you guys talk, and then I'll just go back and then come back out. Because either you're going to listen to me or not.
I seriously cannot stand how this squatter is just sitting there smug, acting like he's the victim, like, sir, you literally broke into someone's house and decided rent was optional. Why are you acting oppressed? It's actually maddening. Honestly, this makes me want to wipe squatters' rights off the map entirely. These laws were supposed to protect people from unfair evictions, but now they're just a cheat code for freeloaders to live in someone else's home for months without paying a dime. And man, I really feel for this lady. But she's got to let Judge Simpson talk. I get that she's upset, rightfully so, but interrupting every 2 seconds isn't helping. Judges don't rule on feelings, they rule on facts. If anything, cutting him off might make him less sympathetic to her situation. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about squatter rights. Do they even need to exist at this point?
Possession's been surrendered. I'm going to give the authority, I'm going to grant to the plaintiff the authority to prevent waste under 4.201I, that you may lock and secure the premises effective 3 o'clock today. The reason I'm doing that is so that you can get your property manager, go over there, you can order a locksmith, you can change the locks at 3 p.m. today. Whatever else needs to get out, if you don't get it out by that time, you said you surrendered, you're giving them the keys, they're giving you grace to get some of the stuff out. If it's not out, not out.
That's perfectly fine, Your Honor. Thank you.
Then the issue regarding the money is going to have to be done. Now, I might as well, because the parties don't seem to agree, set this matter for trial. You have to come up next week. Is that correct, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so trying to time this, if you come up, how long are you going to be up here?
Very short amount of time, sir, as I have children in North Carolina in school. So a day.
So if I I was just going to set this for a trial. So I can set a trial date, but I'm going to need the parties in person because apparently there's going to be a lot of documentation. So I'm trying to set it. So here's what I'll do. Because we're really talking about the money, but we got to get the premises secured first. So we've dealt with that. What's my date? March the 4th? 11th? All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set a non-jury trial as to the money issues for March 11th, 2025 at 9 a.m. That's in person. So I've tried to set that, ma'am, I've tried to set it out far enough so that you could make arrangements or do what needs to be done to come up. We'll hear it that day. So if it has to be a one-day trip, it's a one-day trip. But I've just tried to put it out to, I think you get what I'm saying. Okay?
Absolutely.
But I'm allowing you to secure the premises. You're going to come up here, check on it. That way you can assess what damages or other things there may be there. Bring ledgers, all other documentation you want the court to look at on March 11th, and then we'll hear your case. Okay?
Ron, I'm ready to ask one question.
Sure.
Rather than pushing it out, I can make arrangements. I will make it work. Like I said, we're actually going into a 90-day foreclosure period tomorrow. And so time is kind of essence.
Got it. Then the best I could do is the 18th. What day? Yeah. The best I could then do is February 18th. I could push it up to that day. Will that be better for you?
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
So non-jury trial in this matter then will be set for February 18th, 2025, 9 a.m. Okay.
One more question. Will Mr. Leffick have to appear as well, or will me be appearing sufficient just because he can't afford time off of work right now?
Well, he might want to have himself, if you're here, he may want to have himself. I will allow understanding childcare, work, those things. I would allow him to appear via Zoom.
Thank you. And as far as Mr.
So that he's present, but you will have to be here in person.
Understood. And Mr. Elliott?
He needs to appear. If he doesn't appear, then I do what I got to do.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Your Honor,
Thank you.
may I ask a question?
Sure.
My partner might not be able to get off work either, but I can show up. Is that a problem?
I will give you the same. Okay. I will give you the same opportunity to give the other side in fairness. So you may appear, but he would have to be available via.
Yeah, guys, part 2 drops tomorrow, so stay tuned. This Elliott squatter case is infuriating. The guy takes over a house, refuses to leave, and somehow the homeowner is the one jumping through legal hoops to get him out. It honestly feels like the law protects criminals more than victims. And Michigan squatter laws, ridiculous. If a squatter stays 30 days, the owner has to formally evict them, which takes months and costs thousands, all while the squatter lives rent-free. If you break into a car, you get arrested. But break into a house, and suddenly you have rights? Make it make sense. These laws need a full reset. If you're trespassing, you should be removed immediately. No eviction process, no loopholes. What do you guys think? Should squatters get kicked out instantly? Or do some of these laws actually make sense? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, like and subscribe. I post daily. Appreciate you all. See you in the next one.